Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Apologies for not having a video uploaded this past week. I did actually film one ready to go up, but I was editing it and I was about halfway through a 30-minute long video section of me putting makeup on that my mic started making loads of really loud crackling sounds, and I spent about 2 whole afternoons trying to edit it to get rid of all that crackling. I tried so many different ways to get rid of it and I could not. And actually it turned out in the end that my mic had broken. So was not able to fully edit that video, and it was a video of me putting on makeup, so it's not like I could put audio over the top or really cut it down. I could not edit it to upload it. So I am refilming that video today, but I'm not putting the makeup on. I already have a full face of makeup on, but I'm going to talk you through what that video was. It was a November monthly makeup basket video. So very similar to what I used to do, a monthly shop my stash, which is where I would go to my makeup collection and pull out certain pieces of makeup to really focus on in that month. And I have bought quite a bit of makeup recently. I've bought quite a few eyeshadows as well, and I've bought some burgundy type colour eyeshadows because I do love those colours. They don't necessarily fit into my spring palette, but they are warm toned, so they complement my green eyes and my warm complexion. So I did want to include some bits of makeup to fit in with the theme and the vibe and the essence of November makeup trends and really focus on them. So I'm going to run you through all of the makeup items that I chose in that video and tell you why. Okay, we'll start off with base/cheek products. Now I only have one foundation, one concealer, one colour corrector, so I'm not going to include that in the basket because I will use them anyway. But blushes, I have 6 blushes, and I have an actual face palette which has 3 blushes in there as well. But the one that I've chosen to focus on is actually broken. It's fine, it's magnetic, so it still works. It is a powder blusher by Vive. It's in the shade Pesca, which is a beautiful warm peach apricot shade. It's a great shade for warm skin tones. It's a really lovely year-round shade for people like myself who have a warm skin tone, and it's a really buttery, soft, buildable formulation. I really do like the powders that Vive produce. The quality is lovely and they're really easy to work with. I have some of this on today as my blusher. And the reason I wanted to include this one, now it's a peach, so it doesn't necessarily fit in with those berry burgundy tones of November, but for some reason or another, I don't really reach for this blusher very often at all. I reach for my face palette from Vive, which is weird because I actually prefer this over the palette. So I need to get this one out, show it a bit more love. It is also, I think, about 2 years out of date, so I do need to start on getting this used up, which will be difficult because it's a powder blusher and they are notoriously difficult to use up. But this is my blusher of focus for November, or by the time this video is up, the rest of November. One of the makeup products that I bought recently was a bronzer. This is a mini bronzer by NARS. It's in the shade Laguna 01, which is for light skin tones, and it is a neutral bronzer. Now I did earlier this year finish up all of the bronzers in my collection, and because I have been analysed as a true spring by Carol Braley, she recommends not wearing bronzers if you're a spring because it can muddy your makeup, and your makeup needs to look fresh and light and bright if you are a spring. But I have noticed that I'm missing just a bit of dimension. Not necessarily missing bronze in my makeup collection, but missing a bit of dimension. So I wanted to get a bronzer, and I wanted to get a mini if possible, depending on which one I landed on, because I didn't want to commit to a full-size bronzer. But I especially wanted a bronzer that wasn't hugely warm. I didn't want like a super warm, orangey, really bronzed bronzer, and I know that sounds silly. I wanted a neutral bronzer, something that was more natural, and like I say, that adds a dimension rather than a bronzed effect to my makeup. So after lots of research, I did decide to buy the NARS Mini Laguna Bronzer in the shade 01. So like I say, for light skin tones, but a neutral bronzer. And so far, so good. I like this because it has added that dimension that I feel like I'm missing, but I'm also not looking at my makeup and going, oh, that's really bronzed, because that's not what I want. So I'm including this in the November makeup basket because it is relatively new and I would like to utilise it a lot this month and really get to kind of know it and play with it. Okay, going back to blushes, I probably should have included them all in one go, but oh well. I'm including two more blushes here. These are both by Giorgio Armani. They're the same product but different shades. They are the Fluid Sheer Glow Enhancers. The reason that I'm including these is because I reach for these anyway, and I feel like these are really nice shades to go with the rest of the makeup that I've chosen. So the first shade is number 11. This is your bronzer, blush, highlighter in one because it is a bronzed pink shade. So I suppose like the NARS Laguna bronzer, it's nothing overly bronzed, but again it adds up that bit of dimension. And then the shade 5 is a coral pink, and this is your blusher and highlighter in one. These products are beautiful. They are so easy to use. You can build them up nicely, and like the name suggests, glow enhancer, they have a nice radiance to them. So they're not matte at all. They are quite nice and bright and fresh and natural looking. And together, I wear these together. I do a pump for both sides of my face and a pump of this one for both sides of my face as well. They work beautifully together. The shades really do complement each other. Next product is a mini. It's the Say Super Glowy Gel. This is in the shade Warm Glow. I don't have much of it left actually, I'm up to about here. This I used to wear all over my face as a glowy primer, but I get a very shiny centre of my face and that just really exacerbated it. So now I just wear this on the high points of my face and my cheekbones up to my temples, and then put my foundation on over the top. And it's a nice way to add just a little bit of radiance to your makeup look. And this goes really nicely with the Giorgio Armani Fluid Sheer Glow Enhancers. Got to be controlled where you put them because otherwise you will look quite glowy. But I felt like this was a nice product to add into the basket because it complemented the other cheek products that I chose. I'm going to include 5 eyeshadows, and these are all new eyeshadows that I have bought in the past 2 months, I would say. So let's start off with the MAC shades. So firstly is the shade Soft Brown, which is a really warm peached brown shade, and like the name suggests, it is quite soft. So it is a lovely transition shade on me. I use it in the crease, or just above the crease rather, because of my eye shape. And this is a lovely soft shade. It is genuinely my perfect transition shade because it's nothing too dark or too neutral. It is nice and warm. It's a really lovely shade to build up as well. And I think MAC eyeshadows are beautiful. I think they're really lovely to work with. You get a great range of colours and they're so iconic. I feel like MAC can often be a brand that is forgotten about because new brands come out, new launches come out, but MAC is one of those beloved, trustworthy brands, and I think their eyeshadows are some of the best products you can get from them. And then the other 2 shades that I'm focusing on are in this little duo palette here. This first one is Antiqued, and if you've been on my channel basically since I started, I did own MAC Antiqued way back in the day when I had several of these individual pans from MAC. And I did end up decluttering it because I didn't really use it that often along with all of my other eyeshadows, but I've really been into burgundy eyes at the moment, and I wanted to find a way of wearing it that worked for my complexion, worked for my colour season, and it seemed like MAC Antiqued was the one to go for. I'll swatch it for you. It is a reddish brown. It's a beautiful warm colour. Doesn't necessarily fit harmoniously within my spring palette. It is too dark, it is too muted. It is better for autumns possibly, but it is warm and I have a warm skin tone. Reds really complement green eyes, so I feel like there is a way of making this work for me, and it's just a beautiful shade. And I just wanted to experiment. I'd gone for a while without having basically any eyeshadow, and I kind of wanted to play with eyeshadow again, but try to make it work for my colour season. So that is MAC Antiqued. And then the next shade is Sable, which I think is described as like a bronzed plum. Again, probably not the best shade for my true spring colour palette, but again, it's warm and it fits in with that kind of November sort of theme. And this is actually what I have on the outer third of my eyes. So I haven't worn it all over the lid because I think that could possibly be too much for me, but just some of this on my lid is a way of just playing about with those tones that you see a lot at this time of year. And then for days when I wanted something a little bit more wearable, perhaps, something more subdued, along with MAC Soft Brown actually, is one of these silk eyeshadows by Lisa Eldridge. I have 3 of them in the shades Phoebe, Irene, and then this one is Gaia. This is a slightly dark, but you can blend it out and make it quite sheer actually, warm brown shade. So great for if I've got a quick makeup look that I need to put on in the morning. I can put some of that on, blend it out with my finger or a fluffy brush, and these will stay put. These are fantastic. The glittery ones I'm not a fan of, but these ones are beautiful. And it's just such a lovely shade. I could wear some of the MAC shades over the top as well, so it's great for layering, or like I say, just a light wash all over the lid. And then the last shade, this was the one that I actually wore in the video, so I'll try and put up some video at some point of me actually doing my makeup. This is by Hourglass, and this is one of these scattered light glitter eyeshadows. Mine is in the shade Rapture, and Rapture is this really warm, sparkly, purple cranberry shade. I'm not a fan of the formulation. It is very messy. You do end up getting glitter over your face, but it is a very pretty shade. It definitely fits into those berry, burgundy, cranberry shades that are synonymous with this time of year, November sort of makeup looks, and it is a lovely, lovely shade. It's a little bit tricky to wear. I do have to do quite a bit of prep to my eyelids first before I can make this kind of stay put, but in the video I'm pretty sure I did this shade and then put some of MAC Antiqued over the top, and those two together, because they are fairly similar, although MAC Antiqued is more red and this is more purpley pink, they do work really nicely together, and putting MAC Antiqued over the top of this makes it last a bit longer. So those are my selection of eyeshadows along with MAC Soft Brown. And then finishing off with some lip products, I do also have Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy in this makeup basket as well, and I'm pretty sure it's in my handbag, which is downstairs, and I just can't be bothered to go and get it. But Fussy is a beautiful, soft, warm pink shade. It's gorgeous. I bought one of these way back when Rihanna first came out with them, and I forgot how much I love those lip glosses. They are so beautiful and they smell amazing. But moving on to the ones that I actually have here, I've got 2 lip liners that I am including, both by Makeup Forever. I did buy 4 Makeup Forever lip liners recently, but the 2 that I'm focusing on this month are Wherever Walnut and Anywhere Caffeine. I have one of them on at the moment. Can't remember which one I put on. I haven't yet distinguished the difference between these 2 in my head, because I know that these 2 are like the most popular shades, but I can't really remember the difference between them. So this first one is Anywhere Caffeine, which is a warm mid-brown shade. That's really beautiful. I'm pretty sure that's the shade that Hailey Bieber really loved, and it kind of catapulted this one into the limelight. And then this one is Wherever Walnut, which is more kind of pinky brown, that kind of My Lips but better shade. I think I put on Anywhere Caffeine, I'm pretty sure it was brown when I put it on, just lined my lips with it and then smudged it out with my finger. These are lovely colours. You can build up the intensity, but I do like that kind of smudged out effect. They're not drying, they last really, really well as well, and I'm really enjoying playing with all 4 colours, but I feel like these 2 colours are the ones that are going to fit in the most with the rest of the basket and that vibe that I'm going for this November. And then 2 lipsticks that I am focusing on. They are both pinks. They are very, very similar. The one that I have on at the moment is by Lisa Eldridge. It's in the shade Je ne sais quoi, which is a beautiful, warm coral. I have dabbed it on and blended it out, but just applying some to my hand there, you can see that it's a beautiful, warm pink coral shade. But it's nothing really vibrant and neon and overpowering. It's a really wearable shade. And this formulation, this is one of her, well, it doesn't say, but I think it's something like the luxuriously lucent lipsticks, but they are really comfortable. They have a sheen to them. They are quite moisturising, so they feel really comfortable to wear. So I blotted some of that on today, and then I put on a different lip gloss. And then the other shade that I have is by Revlon. It's Pink in the Afternoon, which is more of, I suppose, a truer pink in comparison to Je ne sais quoi. Again, really nice dabbed out on my lips or worn with full opacity, and I thought that those would go quite nicely with the two lip liners and help to kind of balance out the eyes a little bit, especially if I'm going for MAC Antiques or Hourglass Rapture. I feel like I've got that kind of medium contrast look. So this is very much the theme and the essence that I'm trying to encapsulate in my makeup this November. So pink on the lips, burgundies, berries, warm browns on my eyes as well, trying to kind of play with those stereotypical colours associated with November makeup, whilst hopefully trying to make it work as best as I can for my colour season and for my overall complexion. And I want to do something similar for December as well. I want to delve more into like the golds and the warm browns, MAC Woodwinked for example on my eyes, my red lipsticks as well. So I'm having a little bit of fun playing with makeup at the moment. However, my next video, or one of my next videos, will be a project pan, because I'm now at the point where I've gone, I have a little bit too much makeup. I think I can reduce some of them, but I am happy playing with my new makeup as well. So it's trying to find that balance. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked this video, and again, apologies that I couldn't get the original video of this up, but like I say, I did put up the look throughout this video so you can see the look that I created. But again, thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.